magical little pillows.
Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs.
Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, there lived a queen who longed for a child. One winter day, as she sat by her window sewing, she pricked her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell on the snow outside. One winter day, as she sat by her window sewing, she pricked her finger, and 3 drops of blood fell on the snow outside. Her wish came true, and soon after, a baby girl was born. She was as beautiful as the queen had dreamed, and they named her Snow White. Sadly, the queen passed away, and the king remarried. His new wife was very beautiful, but also proud and cruel. She had a magic mirror that she asked every day, "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest one of all?" The mirror always answered, "You, my queen, are the fairest of them all." But as Snow White grew older, her beauty shone brighter than the queen's. One day the mirror replied, "Snow White is the fairest of them all." Filled with jealousy, the wicked queen ordered a huntsman to take Snow White into the forest and get rid of her. But the kind huntsman could not harm the innocent girl. Instead, he let her go, and Snow White ran deep into the woods. There she found a tiny cottage. Inside, everything was small and neat. Tiny chairs, tiny plates, and 7 little beds. Tired and frightened, Snow White lay down and fell asleep. When the owners came home, 7 dwarfs who worked in the mountains, they were surprised to find her there. She told them her story, and they took pity on her. "Stay with us," they said, "and keep house while we work. In return, we'll protect you." Grateful, Snow White agreed. Meanwhile, the queen discovered through her mirror that Snow White was still alive. Furious, she disguised herself and visited the dwarf's cottage. 3 times she tried to harm Snow White with tight laces, a poisoned comb, and finally a poisoned apple. The first 2 times the dwarf saved her, but the 3rd time, Snow White fell into a deep, death-like sleep. The dwarfs, heartbroken, placed her in a glass coffin in the forest. They could not bear to bury her, for she looked as beautiful as ever. One day, a prince who had heard of Snow White's beauty came to see her. Moved by her kindness and grace, even in her stillness, he asked the dwarfs if he could take her to his castle. As his servants carried the coffin, they stumbled, and the piece of poisoned apple stuck in Snow White's throat was dislodged. She awoke, her eyes opening as if from a long dream. The prince rejoiced and declared his love for her. Snow White agreed to marry him, and the dwarfs celebrated with joy. The wicked queen, when she asked her mirror again, learned that she was no longer the fairest of them all. And so Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after, while the queen's pride and cruelty led to her downfall.
Like and subscribe to watch more of our videos.
You might also like these fairy tales. Check them out